Hello from the Dukascopy TV studio in Geneva. We're talking about making startups successful with the help of venture capital with Angel Versetti. He's founder of Versetti Ventures. Welcome to the studio, Angel.
Thank you.
And can you give us an overview? What is your company about, Versetti Ventures?
So Versetti Ventures is a venture capital fund for early stage startups in the technology sector. We focus on the companies that come from Switzerland. So we work directly with EPFL in Lausanne and ETH Zurich, engaging directly with researchers who have developed certain technologies that have a big potential to transpose scientific progress into businesses. And we help them with strategic development and also financing for their projects and turning them into successful startups. And we currently have a network of approximately 150 individual and institutional investors. Lots of them are from Switzerland, but we also have agents from the UK and other European countries. And we help them deliver proper financing and business strategy.
And so what is the added value that you could propose to startups who need your help?
Well, the value added as opposed to other venture capital funds is actually providing strategic advice on business. So we have a network of lawyers that specialize on startups, helping them structure their corporate governance frameworks. We have specific advisors who can act as mentors for startups, which is a very essential element. So it's not just about throwing money at them and say, hey, go ahead and make something with that. But it's also providing them with the necessary connections, links to business communities, and also just shaping them, shaping their startups with the industrial knowledge that the mentors can have. So in that aspect, we aim to create a community of people who help startups succeed.
And actually, where do you come in now? At the early stage of startups, what is your approach?
It's in general seed stage or early stage startups. So as I said, some of the projects are actually, they are not even businesses yet. So we see promising technologies that are aligned with the current trends, or that, for example, can be, there is a technology which currently has no application to the market, but we see that it could be applied to a certain industry, and we get in touch with researchers and just brainstorm with them. So we have a lot of informal events or meetings where we do this, and then we encourage researchers to create a team of their PhD students, but also bring business person on the side and turn their technology research into a startup. So we are really looking with those pre-business stage startups, very early stage and seed stage.
That sounds very interesting. So can you give us a little bit more detail? Which sectors and also companies you're currently focusing on?
We're currently focused on various technology sector companies in Switzerland. So we are building up our portfolio, which will be completed throughout the summer. So roughly in September, October, we'll have a full portfolio. Currently, we've got a few companies that are already raising funds through Versetti Ventures. One of them is, for example, 101 Business Insights, which is an online platform which is also a community for entrepreneurs. It's a social network with a digital currency, and it enables them to exchange opinions on successful strategies for startups. And other projects we have include, for example, Gaming Merch, which is also a website where it's a gaming community, and it's led by a young entrepreneur actually, and they just sell merchandise for gamers specifically. So it's also, they create an online community of gamers and then supply them with specific merchandise that they associate with. It's a part of their identity. So in that aspect, they go beyond just online commerce. They create online commerce with the community within, and that's what Gaming Merch's philosophy is. We have NoLexis, which is a legal startup. So they actually enable lawyers working on the same case in different companies, in different countries. They enable them to collaborate on the case, and also they enable clients who are looking for they're looking for a lawyer. Right now, the market is very opaque and intransparent, so the clients can simply shortly upload their case description, and then they'll be matched with different lawyer proposals with quotes in them and more or less time frame of how long it will take it. So in that sense, it optimizes and disrupts the legal market in Switzerland and beyond. And lastly, we also engage with social enterprises. So we have one project called Farm for Life, and it's a Tanzanian-based startup whereby marginalized members of communities in Tanzania get into a cooperative, and they rent part of land, and then they grow vegetables on it. And on the vegetables that they sell, on the money raised, they enable their children to go to school. And we also help this, it used to be a charity, this project, but we actually advise them with how to turn it into a business idea. So right now they're financially sustainable. They reinvest the profits made into the future, into the renting of equipment and land for the consequent years, whilst also the community is a bit better off. and we help such projects raise money free of charge, of course.
That's very interesting. So when you are evaluating the startups, how important is it for you to also put in the social impact into account?
It's very difficult to actually put that into valuation, because it's very difficult to say, well, what is the value of a child going to school, or what is the value of a certain community being lifted out of poverty. And very often, since we have a responsibility to our investors to make returns on the money that they put, it's a difficult balance to strike. But what we aim to do, we aim to have a portfolio which has certain businesses whose profitability is not maybe very high compared to others, but the social element on top of that actually creates additional value, and we encourage our investors to also consider those projects. In that sense, they will still get returns on their investments, maybe a bit less than the competitors would offer, but the value they would create for people in developing countries is immense. So we are actually encouraging actively this responsible investment strategy.
And so finally, let's also talk about potential bubbles. So of course, the market and the competition among startups is, of course, growing right now. Also the danger of potential bubble buildings. What's your opinion on that, and how can you actually help that to fund the right organizations that it will be successful at the end?
Yes, indeed. The issue with the bubble, of course, it's a very heated discussion right now. The evaluation of a lot of startups is pretty arbitrary, and they very often overinflated indeed. And there is a bit of hysteria about, the technology sector. Everybody's creating their startups these days. And indeed, it's likely that we will very soon see the explosion of this bubble. But at the same time, I am of strong opinion that this will not lead to any downfall in the startups industry. This will not lead to any technological decline, in the sense of, we had 15 years ago a dot-com bubble whereby a lot of internet companies went bankrupt, but internet itself didn't disappear. In fact, it only became stronger. In a similar sense with startups, a lot of them offer value that cannot be eroded by mismatch in valuation. So in that sense, even if valuation may be eroded, the value of startups will remain. And it is precisely our objective, actually, to seek out those startups that offer value that is actually tangible, that creates certain aspects of either in technology or in optimizing business or consumers' patterns, and we invest into those startups and help them succeed.
Thank you very much, Angel Versetti, for being here today and sharing this information.
It was my pleasure.
And thanks for watching. Do make sure to keep clicking back on the Dukascopy TV website for latest updates and exclusive interviews. Have a great day and see you next time.